Hello, hello out there. What's up, Nick?
We're live. We
Welcome to
are live.
Tampa Time. Welcome to Spooky Events.
Here we are. We're there.
Yeah, we are here. Let's get guest
All right.
we over here. That's where we could, talk about a little everything, life's
Yep.
absurdities, accountabilities, responsibility,
Yep.
chat, engage.
And we have the lovely There's something about Mary in the chat.
Hey, Rezzy, how are you, girl?
She's I don't know how awake she is. I don't know if you just woke up, Mary. JK
I
Juicy
think,
Juice in the building.
hey, Juicy Juice, what's up? What's up? So, Nick, how was your day, though?
My
Can you hear
day's
me?
been Yep, yep. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear, loud and clear.
um my day's been pretty interesting. There's been a lot of things happening since I woke up. Now I woke up about 10 hours ago, maybe even 11 hours ago.
Yeah, I forget. We on those different times. We on those different time zones. You up in the future right now. You need to
I am
give me a heads up on what's going on.
Well, yeah, so it's 11:30 local time here, 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 24th in the future. And the weather here on the east coast of Australia, down in Victoria where I live, it is miserable. It is cold, it's wet, it's windy, it's miserable. It's terrible. But
Wow.
but it's better. It's better in spite of the weather. It's better because I'm sitting here with temper.
Yeah, I just say let me have a nice little chat with Nick, It's good to, engage a little, chat a
Mhm.
little, vibe a little.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Resi, it hot over there. How hot, Resi? What type of degrees you have?
It's hot, 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 she's saying.
Yeah, she sound like she up in the 80s. Well, Nick, life has a way, throwing
Oh,
things at you. Life has a way of humbling you, sitting you
mm-hmm,
down. Sometimes it's good to take a break. Sometimes, and
mm-hmm,
then again, whoa, 90 degrees. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Rezzy. Sound like you could just scramble an egg on the road.
Over 90.
Over 90.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 100 degrees, right? The boil water, right?
Yep.
You can imagine walking around in that.
I did last summer. It was 106 last summer for me.
Oh, 106 degrees.
Yep.
Like you know what I envision that like trees melting,
Mm-hmm.
um, car tires sticking to the road.
Well, the road was melting. The actual road, the tar on the road was melting. So if a truck went over it, all of the bits of the asphalt were moving and you could see it.
Oh wow,
It was really hot. It gets very hot over here. Very hot.
dang! With all that dry meadows and grass.
Mm-hmm. And just expanse of space. And so I think all of the mountainous areas in Australia are on the east on the perimeter, and in the middle, it's really flat. So and it's dry and it's arid, and because of the lack of mountains, no clouds form out in the middle.
So that heat just pouring down.
Just pouring down. Yep,
So the
95
best,
degrees.
so the best time to turn the AC on is in the night, so the night gets real cool.
Um, there's something good about where I live. sometimes in summer the nights are really cool, so it becomes bearable.
It becomes bearable. That's
It
something to think
becomes
about.
yeah, it becomes bearable. Or you have to sleep with a fan on, and because I don't have any AC in my bedroom, so I would put a fan on and put something wet, a wet cloth on me, and then that's my air conditioning for the night. Hey,
But
Auntie Leah. Auntie Leah's in the house.
hey, Auntie, what's up? What's up? What's up? But as far as Nick, would you believe it? I don't like cold air.
What?
I do not like cold air. I get very, very uncomfortable in AC. Or like I could cool off, but once I done cool off, that's it. That's all that it done serve its purpose. I done with that.
Wow.
Get me back to room temperature. Like that's how I operate. Seriously, I cannot
Wow.
stand central air.
Wow.
Yeah. So even though I have one split unit,
Hmm.
even though I have a fan, even though I have a ceiling fan, I rarely cut those on.
Wow.
No matter how hot it is, like seriously, like I just build like that. Like I gauge my breathing, that's just me. Like I
Yep.
just room temperature. Now when I get overheated, yeah, I can cool
Hmm.
off, but besides that, mm-mm.
Wow.
Cool air don't work.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I don't like a lot of it. Um, yeah, it depends for me. I don't like to be hot, but I prefer to be. Yeah, the cold weather. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
me and
don't know.
Cole, me and Cole, me and Cole don't go too far. Like once my nose and get all iced up and throat, like that's it for me. Like once I
That's it.
feel like I ain't breathing anymore,
Yeah,
that one done.
you're
Really.
done.
Yeah, I
Okay.
done with that. You will notice me
Okay.
moving here, moving there. Yeah, I just ready to go.
um, Auntie Lee is still working at the moment.
Work safe, Annie. Work safe. And when you get off, drive safe now.
Oh, she's all right. But you should be finished work by now. Come on, lady. Damn, 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 damn. So yes, it's been an interesting day in YouTube, in the world of YouTube. Um,
It's always an interesting day.
yeah, we lost a family member. We lost we lost a channel. We lost an old family member acquaintance. Um, yeah, who who?
Who? Who? Who? That's a good one. Who?
Yeah.
But you know something? How the thing how the old song go? Dun 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how
When
the cookie crumbles. How many
yeah.
licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop?
Oh. Yep.
The
Yep.
world may never know.
No, that's right. But I I I don't want to rub salt in anyone's wound.
Nah, it ain't about that.
No, 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 definitely not.
But on the
It's a
bright side of things, Nick, it's so much good in the world to behold. There's so much out there to be aware of.
yep.
Like it's just so much, and drama is just something I ain't about. Beef
Mm-mm.
is something I feed to my dogs. Like
Mhm.
seriously.
Yep.
Um the world is already a hard place, so you ain't gotta make it hard, even harder by, sowing seeds of discord, sowing distrust among different sectors. It
Yep,
ain't really about that. It's way more to behold, way more to do if you really apply yourself. You
that's
know?
right. Yeah, that's right. And you know, you and I had a great long conversation the other day about a million things that weren't about YouTube.
Exactly.
A million things we talked about, believe it or not, guys, we really did. Um, and I couldn't believe how in tune and how many things in common I had with Temper. I couldn't believe it. I thought, where has this guy been? And you guys are hoping I say all my life, aren't you? All my life. Where have you been all my life? I'm not going to say that. He's but
Uh, but that's how it is when great minds think alike, you know.
that's right.
Them some of them old songs. Say I don't know if they taught you it in primary school or whatever, but it's songs like it only takes a spark to get a fire going, or the more we pull together, the happier we'll be.
Hmm.
Man, if you really look at it, that still means something, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Hey guys, hey Archangel,
Hey,
thanks for
what's up,
joining us.
Archangel? Next day with my head because just as I saw his comment, you
Yep,
next day with my head, please.
stay out of your head.
Yeah, stay with my head.
Well, this is the thing. We're both mods, and there's a whole bunch of mods in the chat. Um, even though, even though, I'm the only one with a wrench here at the moment, right? But and these guys will be like probably breathing a sigh of relief, going, "Oh, thank God, thank thank God, we're in a chat where we don't have to deal with a wrench." Put it
Hey,
here.
but Nick,
I'm gonna.
think about it though.
Yeah,
The life of the wrench. People think
yeah.
that's easy, you know. That's a nightmare sometimes, you know.
It is a nightmare sometimes. Now, Can I ask your live chat because this is your channel, right? Can I ask your live chat to put a one in the chat if they're happy to be in a chat without a wrench? Can you put a one in the chat if you're happy to be in a chat without a wrench? Look, I'm not a mod, thank God. I'm not a mod, thank God. I like the sound of that.
Juicy, to be
There
honest
you
with
go.
you, when you get the first one, the second one coming. And when you
Yep,
get the
that's right.
second one, the third one coming.
That's right. Look at the ones coming in.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah. So this is it. If and have you all hit the like? I'm going to check it. I'm going to
Yes,
check it.
please do.
We've got 7
It's
people watching. This is great for your first live. You've got 7 watching. This is fantastic. Nope, don't want it. She says. We get it. We get
trust
it.
me, Juicy. When it comes, it comes. As long as you be a positive person in chats and you ain't dropping no stupid remarks or nothing inflammatory or just
Yep.
being immature in certain type of way, with great power, responsibility will come. To be honest
That,
with you, can't run
that's
from it.
that's right. F that. She says. F that.
Well, you better
Oh,
watch what you be saying in the chat then.
that's all right. She's staying in the scope of things. It's all good. Um, yeah, no, look, sometimes it's nice to turn up to a chat and not have a wrench. We know,
Man,
we know.
boy, and trust me, it almost like if we was to talk about accountability right now, like, do
Hmm.
you think us as mods sometimes? Do you think people when we look at some of the heinous comments we see people hurl in side chats, do you think they really want to be held accountable for some of these remarks? Like, to be honest now, you really think some of these people would like to be held accountable?
from from the modding end of it.
I mean, to say, well, you would see, okay, let's just say Anthony. I just use the name I see on the screensaver, Anthony.
Mhm.
Let's say every time Anthony comes in, for the first time you see a person named Anthony, he drop in
Mm.
some of the most negative statements, and
Yep.
if you let it fly through, you'll be like, all right, I see what
Yep.
type of algorithm he on.
Mhm.
He called people like this a disruptor. Then you learn that again when you watch it again, come back, different day, same
Mhm.
energy, just something darker.
Yep.
And if you keep on watching, you'll be like, okay, you make me come to the decision that, okay, you're a monster.
Mhm.
Okay, you have toxic energy. I
Mhm.
don't need you here. You shouldn't be here. Like, yeah, you need to go. Like, seriously. Like,
Yep.
that's what it makes you see. But when you look at, if you was to say, well, give that person a platform just because of the BS they just said in the chat,
Mhm.
I mean, you definitely, they will not hit the link. Some won't hit the link. Um,
Yeah.
and if they do, you could get,
Yep.
but it always comes down to accountability and being responsible. But when we see the outcome of what some actions could cause, the harm it could bring, then then do we want to talk about being responsible? Then we want to talk about being held accountable? No.
No.
That's like the furthest thing from your mind, because why? You don't want to own up to some dumb shit that you just, that you probably made up or brought on.
Yeah.
So just that one word, accountability. A lot of people don't want to be accountable, but yet who
Yep.
should
That's right.
who should check you on your actions? Who should
That's
check
right.
you on your actions?
There really needs to be some YouTube police. I'm just saying.
No, it just need to be some people just willing to speak out on some real things, because when you talk about bullying, like, you can't be a bully, and when you get bullied, it's a problem. Like it almost goes back to a need for attention, like
Yeah.
NPD. Like, you could see a lot of narcissism
Mhm.
within YouTube. You can see it within the side chats, within content creating. I mean, based on the style of the content, like, you can see it.
Yep.
But to say it isn't real would be a lie. To act
Correct.
as
Yep.
if you wasn't a part of it would be a
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is something that no one really wants to talk about. You know, and this is
Yes.
a reality. We
Mhm.
talking about hurt people hurting people.
Yep. Yep. And it has to stop somewhere. Would you agree with that?
Well, they say time longer than rope.
Time's longer than rope. Yeah.
Yeah, long
YouTube.
rope but short catch.
YouTube is taking channels left, right, and left and right. YouTube knows it's a bully's platform. Why make wrenches in the first place? Hmm. Well, sometimes it's been like a marathon when you've got a wrench and you're with a really fast. Auntie Leah knows all about it. She and Archangel. Um, you know, when you've been mods for really big channels, woo, yeah, that you've got some work to do. Especially when everyone's coming at the content creator. It's a lot of
Oh
work,
yeah, oh
a
yeah.
lot of work, and you need to be on your game. You need to be able to read fast and read all the comments and figure out who's you've got to make very quick judgment calls on the bad players that have come into the chat. Um, it's
And
hard.
and just how you say that, Nick.
Hmm.
Um, it's about mature. It's about, like, for me,
Hmm.
real my eyes see real eyes. So
Hmm.
it's like, if you come in with if I could see within your comment or within your question that, hey, you want to ask a question, there's nothing inflammatory about it, but
Yep.
based on reading it, whether once, twice, thrice, and seeing what it is you're trying to insinuate, Like you
Mm-hmm.
really get the message and you understand. Like, yeah, this one has to go. Like, yeah, I see what you're trying to do. But it takes maturity to see these things. But I would never fight down someone who would basically ask a question and it makes sense. No,
Yep.
I wouldn't do that. But you have
Yeah.
something called misinformation, and
Mm-hmm.
within that, you always got to keep your eyes open because a lot of people try to, resurrect narratives based, just through side chat.
Yep. Yep. That's right. Now, I have something very small eyeballing me right now, and I'm just waiting for that something very small to make a move and demand something of me. I'm talking very cryptically, and it's a dog, and and he always does this to me when I've just started on a live stream or a phone call. He always does it. He always does it. So you can either talk. I'm going to give you. Yeah, it's my dog. Of course, it's my dog. Um, I can play this song for you if you like,
Yeah, it's up to you. Go for it, Nick. Go
and I
for it.
and then we'll throw this song on. This is one of my songs, so there's no copyright drama. No copyright drama. It's my drama llama song. Oh my god!
Yeah,
All
I had a drama llama for a little while.
right, now we're grown. We're grown. All right, I'm going to mute up and play this for everyone. All right, here we go. Oh, turn the volume up.
Hey, 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 you gotta cut it. Don't be such a drama llama. Yeah, that's it. Hey, yeah. Drama llama, drama llama. Mama said, shut your mouth, llama. Yeah, uh-huh. Drama llama, drama llama. No one got time for a drama llama. Oh yeah. How can I miss you if you won't go away? Yeah. You drama llama. You gotta cut it out, don't be such a drama llama, yeah, that's it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Drama llama, drama llama. You gotta cut it out, don't be such a drama llama. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Drama llama, drama llama, drama llama, drama llama. Mama said, shut your mouth, llama. Yeah. Drama llama, ha ha ha.
I'm back.
I just gonna say, yeah, Nick, I kind of missed that one. Not another one you have the name Clicks for Lies. I think that's you too, eh? That's another Mountain Goat
Yeah, yeah,
Productions, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
I
That's
like
it.
that.
Well, I will cue that up as well, just for a bit later. Um, oh my god, is there a llama in the emojis? I didn't even know. That's
You
cute.
know Rezzy go find it now. You know Rezzy go find it.
And JK Juicy Juice, she made a typo and she said, what kind eye dog? Eye dog, like iPhone. And then she said, of dog. And then she said, freaking autocorrect. And I said, well, not an eye dog, a real dog.
But Nick, me and you was talking about something earlier, right? Like,
Yeah.
you still get me on that one though. Like that Tasmanian devil.
Oh,
Like that was the weirdest cartoon character on Looney Tunes.
mm-hmm.
And I run across my mind the other day, and I say, you know something? I ain't googling no Tasmanian devil, or I said, let me ask Nick about this Tasmanian devil. And based on them things you was telling me, bro, do they fight humans? Are
I
they
don't think they,
aggressive?
no, I don't think they do. I don't think they fight humans.
I mean, like how a kangaroo would literally stand off with you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, they fight each other. And I wonder I wonder if I can play the noise. Let me see if I can play the noise from my phone. Let me see if everyone can hear it. I'll try and find it again.
Archangel say yes, they can bite and defend.
Ooh, okay.
So they got some serious teeth in their mouth as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to play the audio of a Tasmanian devil. So freaking annoying. Let's see if you guys can hear it.
What the Nick?
Did you? What in the world is that's a Tasmanian? That is a Tasmanian devil. Let me see if I can get. I'll get it. I'll find a picture of it. Surely I can show a picture. Let me see. Stop sharing. Go back. Let me get Google up.
No man.
Google.
Nick,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
sure you ain't you sure you was in before you come up on the panel, you sure you was in playing a Call of Duty Black Ops or something? You
No,
sure you
I
sure you was
definitely.
in playing Call of Duty? 'Cause
I'm positive. Look at that. That's it there. Can you see that?
hey Kit Kat, what's up, sis? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Glad you're here.
Hey, Cat. Is it up big on the screen?
Okay,
What's going on?
that one to the bottom of the animated one, that the animated picture, they kind of look alike for true. Okay, so they teeth do hang out day mode. Okay, so what? He has an overbite, an underbite.
I don't know what he has.
Dang.
Why can't I make it big on the screen? What's going on?
What's the
Oh, I see.
size? What
Share
size do
this
they
ribbon.
normally grow?
Yep, here we go. There's a better. That should be full screen now. There we go.
Look at them teeth, man.
They're not very big.
No, but you ain't gotta be that big to have them kind of teeth in your mouth.
Yeah, those teeth. They're a bit
Ah,
like the Tasmanian tiger. That's a strange beast as well. Have you
So
seen?
let me ask you something. Is this something you would see on a regular outside, like looking out the window in your yard?
Oh, I don't live in Tasmania, so I don't know. So they're not on the mainland in Australia. They're only in the. Let me get a map of. Let me fix this for you. Uh, Australia. Right.
Yeah,
So
cat.
here we go. Visit. Where is this picture? I can't even get it up. Damn it.
This is the voice behind the name. Yes, cat. Yes, cat.
Yes, cat. Yes, cat. Oh, get rid of that.
This ugly little sucker for true though. I wouldn't like to buck that.
All right. So can you see this map of Australia?
Mm-hmm.
Is it big on the screen?
Yep. Big enough for me to see.
Okay. So, where did it go?
Hold on,
So
hold
Tasman.
on, I gotta say that different. I own a 65 inch, so this really big. So for some people, it
Oh,
might be
okay.
small.
So, can you see the mouse moving on the picture or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm circling around is Tasmania down the bottom.
Okay.
That's where the that's where those
Hobart.
little Hobart. That's where those little devils live down there. They're
Okay.
not.
They on a whole separate island from. Okay.
Yeah. They're separated from the mainland. They only live down there, right? Now
Okay.
I live over here, right? Somewhere,
Somewhere.
well, that's a big state. That's like the size of the UK. What I'm circling around there, and Archangel lives somewhere over here, right? Over here, and Debbie Donaldson is up here somewhere, and I think Serene, one person we know, lives over here, and yeah, Australia is huge.
Boy, Nick use a stinker, yeah?
What? What did you say?
He was a stinker.
A stinker.
This one lives here and this one lives there.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
man.
no, that's right. Now, so I'm going to show you. Right, here's another good one. Let's have a look at this one. I'll share this tab
But
and
hold
screen.
on though. But hold on. Seeing that they live away, you think if they was over on the mainland with everyone, like it would have been a problem as in repopulation or whatever? I mean, do they would tear up farms, attack cattle, or
I don't
chickens?
know. They're not big enough to attack cattle. They are not big enough to attack cattle. But I want to show you something. Have we got the globe on the screen now?
Yeah.
Right. So this is Tasmania here. Let's see if I click this bigger, what's going to happen. Right. So we've got Tasmania down here,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is the South Pole. This is the South Pole down here. It's pretty cold. We're not that far away from, the South Pole, right?
All right. Okay. Okay.
And over here is New Zealand. And I don't think I can move that globe. Aren't you lucky? I can't turn this globe.
Very lucky. But we did say the sun goes from east to west, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, so if you move this to the east and the sun becoming sunsets in the west, well, you could be basically seeing even from any side how evening would be morning.
The sun, hang on, the sun's position to the earth. Let me see if I can. Here we
Yeah.
go. This might work. It might not help me or you. And Kat's here, yeah. So Kat, what's going on? I'm not sharing this tab. What's going on? Let me see what I'm sharing. Where is it? Share this tab instead. Right. All right. So we're not having a science lesson. I'm not a teacher. All right. Kat, do you remember the wobble? Remember we were talking about the wobble of the earth the other day?
Mm-hmm.
So here you go. This kind of makes sense. So the equator, I always thought that so north and south is not really north and south compared to the sun. This is where the confusion comes in. This is the sun's rays on Earth,
Okay.
and I can't turn the globe, but I'm down. Where Australia is down near the Antarctic Circle,
Okay.
and I don't know if this is a very accurate map that's on here.
Okay. So watch this now. If I was, let's say, if I lived on this half of the globe, right?
Hmm.
Now, how the sun set. I mean, how the sun position. This showing me basically how the rays would be shining on the earth.
Yep.
But this sun still has to move over.
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say now is, as this sun moves over on my side, it goes from east to west. So I get, if I was on this side, I would get the morning, I would get evening. But when that evening time comes and that goes around that corner, then I guess that's where your morning be. I would be where
Yep.
whoever on that side closest, their morning would begin quicker. But
Quicker. Yeah.
you,
Yep.
yeah, but you on that side way over. So yeah. So by the time it's the sun really go down on my side, it should be. If I was on this side, it should be morning for you.
we Temper and I are always fighting over the sun. If we talk about the sun amongst ourselves, we talk about your sun or my sun, and is your sun still up in the sky because mine's popping up over here? And we're like, what's going on? And we send each other a photo just to prove what we're talking about.
Yeah, but my son brighter though.
Your son's whiter, and my son's yellow, and I don't understand this either. My son, your son, yeah, Cat. My son, your son, our son.
No, no, no. My son is my son because see
It's my son.
the other day you was telling me you could see the moon, but when I walk outside, I was like, well,
Yep. So we have
oh,
fights over the moon and our sun. Our sun, Cat. Our sun. But the moon, we don't say our moon because we don't fight over the moon. We just fight over the sun.
but that's strange. But that's strange though.
It is strange.
So I don't know, maybe because boy, that's still weird to even think about. I mean, it's supposed to be the same sun, but I mean, yours your version just looks a little bit darker.
My version.
Yeah, your version looks darker.
It does look darker. It's very strange. There's not even Australia on this map. This is a very biased map. Where is Australia? Nowhere. We don't exist. See? We're not even on any of these maps of the world here. Unbelievable. I don't get it. It's too much. It's too much. I can't do this if they don't show me where Australia is. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know? No,
Australia was not in their minds.
no, it wasn't. Poor Australia.
But you know, the first time, I mean, as a youth growing up, the first time I really hear anything about Australia was what that guy name was? Paul Hogan. I think
Paul
that's his
Hogan, yep.
name. Crocodile Dundee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only time I was like, you know, about Australia. But then
Yep.
I understand it's a lot of little unique things down there. Like you say, a friendly chat with Nick. Like them kangaroos. How the hell they get so big?
Oh, they just are.
And I know you got some
But-
crazy wildlife down there.
Well, that's
Tell me about that.
because. All right. Now we're gonna. Are you listening to this, Cat? let me get this off the screen. I don't even know what to put on the screen. So now this is allegedly, right? There used to be more oxygen on the planet because we had more vegetation, therefore it produced more oxygen. I'm not a scientist. Do your own research, all right? So there, there was more oxygen and things were bigger, like dinosaurs. Everything was bigger, right? Now, everything is smaller. If you think about, the lizards and things that we have now, the reptiles, they're a lot
Mm-hmm.
smaller. And people are a lot smaller, and animals in general are a lot smaller. And that's because our lungs are smaller because there's less oxygen to breathe. Is anyone buying what I'm selling?
No,
No,
no, I ain't buying it.
you are buying it.
No, I'm not buying it. That
Yeah,
that
big
price is
research.
just a little bit too steep.
Well, I'm buying it because if there's less air to breathe, then our lungs need to be smaller. If there's more air to breathe, our lungs need to be bigger. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Seeing that we on spooky events.
Mhm.
Okay. Check this one out, Nick.
All right.
We talk about millions of years ago with dinosaurs, right?
Mhm.
Why we just in 2025?
What do you mean?
We are just in the year 2025, yet we talking millions of years
Oh,
ago. Why are we just in 2025? So how
I
do we
don't
go
know.
from so how do we go from 1 million to down to 2025? Like what happened?
You know what? That's too hard for me. I get it. I know. Yeah, you're right.
Like seriously, like how did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I
We
don't
really
know.
supposed
And
yeah, you telling me about 40,000 years ago and 10,000 BC and blah 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 and the saber-tooth tiger and this and that, but yet we just in 2025.
yeah, 2025. But isn't that because of the biblical calendar? Yeah, before
Well,
continuous. There you go, BC.
well, when it comes to the biblical calendar, shoots. I think the whole thing about time and a lot of things have been miscrewed to us. A lot of
Mhm.
things have been um programmed in our mind.
Mhm.
Because to be honest, think about it though. I know that back in like growing up, elders,
Mhm.
morning, midday, evening, like all this 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, morning, midday, evening. That's how people really communicated time. It
Mhm.
was either morning based on the
Yep.
sun in the sky, midday, and based on the clock that it's going down, evening, night.
Yep. Yep.
So so when it comes to this time thing, even when I now this one could get a little off, but even when you read in the Bible in Daniel chapter 10, they
Mhm.
talk about uh a certain nation, a certain city on this earth that decided that they had the power to control time, whether time goes back, time goes forward, and we've seen this manipulation. But no one has even questioned this manipulation. Like, who gave the order that you could actually stop time? To say, well, okay, time going back, time going forward, when you didn't even create time. Time was here before you.
Mhm. Yep.
So,
So can you guys imagine? Temper and I spoke for like a good many hours the other day. Can you imagine how our conversation went? It went everywhere. Our conversation went everywhere. Julius Caesar made the current calendar, 30 years after Jesus Christ. 30 years after. How long did now that gives me a question. How long did Julius Caesar live for? Because people didn't live for a long time.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Kat, you would have loved the conversation we were having. It was, you know, I I've said this before. I've said this before. I'll say it again. No, I I've I have said this a couple of times before on maybe one or two live streams. Um, you know, I'm as deep as the ocean, but not everyone wants to swim in my waters, right? And it's really good to find someone that wants to swim in my waters, and and the cats laugh, and I just mean in conversation. That's just about, that metaphor is about conversation and about how deep you are as a person. It's got nothing to do with anything else, right? cat Cat's getting a real kick out of this.
Yeah, but a lot of people just don't think about certain things, like, all right, think about this. Do you think there's more people on Earth alive right now or buried in the Earth right now?
It definitely have to be buried.
Okay. Do you know that and a lot of people just don't understand, and yeah, we on spooky, we on temper time now, so shit could
Mhm.
get a little spooky. So people just wonder why they experience certain paranormal activities in their homes, or um
Mhm.
in apartments where they just moved, or a home they previously bought, or and people just
Mhm.
wonder why these things happening to them, but you never really thought what this house was before you bought it. Like how they
Yep.
say with a car, did you get the car facts? Did you get the house facts? Did you get the apartment facts? Did you do the deep
Mhm.
dive?
Yep.
Um, and I find this phenomenon to be very, 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 very real.
Mhm.
And I understand you're like a spook or nothing like that, but yeah, I was one of them who born with that cord thing. I don't know if y'all could understand my lingo, but when we say born with a cord, we mean born with the extra sight. So yeah, so when you check certain facts, and when you look at, let's say, I've known people who have problems in their home, and they're trying to figure out like what happened, what happened, what happened. Well, this is what happened. Um, Back in time, like on in certain parts of the world, it wasn't a law as to say, well, here is the graveyard, bury your
Mhm.
loved one in the graveyard. You had the right to bury them within your yard. You understand? You as a family member, you had that right to do that. And this person literally did not know, bought this piece of property, and as far as they knew, they were going to build their home, and they built their home on this property. And what happened is, for some reason, they was getting a dream that someone was telling them to, remove their foot or remove something off of them.
Mhm.
And they paid it no mind. And that person, they died off, not knowing. Someone else came and they was getting the same effect.
Mhm. Yep.
I think it was move your foot off of my stomach or something like that. But exactly somewhere in the house where their bedroom was located,
Uh-huh.
um, it was like basically where the person was buried, like on
Under
their
the ground.
body. Right.
Wow.
But they was being respectful enough to give them a vision as to say, well, hey, get off me, get off me. Like
Mhm.
take your foot
Yep.
off me. But they wouldn't
Yep.
listen until someone who knew the signs and understood the spirituality of what was going on with the person literally told them like, hey, such and such is the case.
Mhm.
This was happening. If you could reposition or whatever. And that's the
Wow.
only way that person could actually live in peace in that house.
Wow. At least they got to live in peace in the house afterwards.
Yeah, real talk. So a lot of people, that's why I asked you, Nick, which do you think more people buried in the earth or more people on the earth.
Well,
So
and here's the thing: they're buried wherever they fell at times. Like, you know, people are all over the place.
you all over the place. Real
They're in
talk.
random places. Um, before there were established cemeteries, they were just put on the property, on the land, or wherever they fell, under the tree. If you were traveling somewhere and it happened on the road, they'd have to be put, under that tree. Like
Mm,
they're all over.
okay.
Yeah, so they're
Um,
anywhere.
and you even have in some places in the world that people actually honor what someone who passed. If someone passed and they had a certain request or a wish that they wanted to happen for them,
Hmm.
they would actually someone in certain places they actually fulfill that
Yeah.
because as
What do you
far
mean?
as we see and as far as they know, the energy thing is real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the spirit thing is real. So, like I said, we on temper time now. We on spooky events. So,
We sure
yeah,
we sure are. So
like, like
so
I said, we could talk about anything, and anything could
well,
come across your mind.
that's right. So I'm going to talk about exactly what I think you were just alluding to just then. Um, so I was given specific instructions by my mother, um, as to what she wants done with 1/3 of her ashes, right?
Okay.
And that requires me to get on an aeroplane with her ashes and fly to Northern Ireland and get permission to put those ashes um, on her grandmother's grave. Right now,
Okay.
my mum is looking at me right now because there's her memorial picture, her card, sitting there looking at me, and she's like, "Oh, you don't have to do it, but I do have to do it." She asked me to do it. Like, I promised her that I would do it. So is that what
Mm-hmm.
you mean? Is that what you mean by
Yeah.
fulfilling the wishes? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I mean. But on my side, when you don't fulfill it, I mean,
Mm.
according to how strong that person is and how serious that person is and how much what you not doing could be a disappointment to them. Yeah, sometimes you get a visit.
Mm.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes, sometimes something may happen to you.
Mhm.
And whatever happens to you, it will bring you to the reality that, hey, I supposed to do this thing for Mr. So and so, and I ain't going to do it. That's just why this happened to me. That's just why certain things start falling off. I
Yeah.
supposed to go do this thing. Like
Yeah.
even like one of my ancestor, like when they were alive,
Mhm.
I would always do certain things, and she would always tell me do certain things. And even
Oh.
though and
Yeah.
even though she ain't here no more, or they
Yeah.
ain't here no more, it's like
Mhm.
I know that if a certain fruit tree was to bear, she
Mhm.
already told me, make sure this person have some, make sure this
Right.
person gets some.
Yeah. Right.
So
And you do it,
I
and
do
you
that
make
every
sure
I
they
do
do it.
that yeah, I do that every time. And
Well,
and it ain't only the
yeah.
fact that I fear something, it's just that for me, honoring our word, yeah,
Mhm.
it's like I ain't gonna just not because them, this one and that one was friends when they was here, now that they're gone, like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's gone. No, I still do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man. But on a serious note, like this side of the land, like certain things we don't play with certain things we don't do. Like making fun of old people and stuff like that. We don't do that. No,
Okay.
because if them old people say something at you,
Mhm.
buddy, you ever hear the saying there's power in the tongue?
Mhm.
Yeah, you could be popping up into one of them type of situations.
Right.
Especially if you know, like when I say elder, I talking about someone who I ain't talking about some little youngster who, who needs
Hmm.
to be disrespected. You talking about 50, 60, 70, 80, them type of people. When they talk at you neck,
Hmm.
when they talk at you neck,
Yes.
you have to pray all God you could find a person to go apologize to them. You remember the movie Drag Me to Hell?
Maybe not. Don't know.
With that lady who I think she did curse the gypsy or something.
Oh, wow.
Or
Okay.
didn't do something for the gypsy lady.
Yep.
Whatever she was supposed to do, it didn't fall through. And she was trying to give this thing back to this woman. This woman give her after she learned
Oh, okay.
it's something to do with a curse.
Yep.
And no matter what she tried to do, she couldn't give this thing back. Like it almost like that.
Wow.
When them old people put that word on you, my brother,
Yep.
take your oath to God. You could carry that to Calvary on the cross. You could
Yep.
plead amazing grace over
Yep.
that. You could say the
Hmm.
Our Father prayer, buddy. Unless that old person decide to take that back,
Hmm.
you will get that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, you will get
Okay.
that.
Now, you might be surprised to know, Temper,
What's that?
that we've been talking for almost an hour.
You lie, Nick. You suck me into the vortex like that.
If anyone talks to me, you will be drawn into a space where time no longer exists.
Thanks, Cat. Thanks, Cat. Hold on. Anyone want to come up and check? Oh, I got a guest in the background.
Have you got someone in the back? Is it Auntie Leah?
I just I just saw that. Auntie, you there?
She's muted. How long's she
Auntie
been there?
Lee. I have no idea. I'm so
Auntie
sorry, Auntie
Leah.
Lee. I hope it wasn't one 2 minutes or a minute or oh no.
Auntie Leah, are you there? We can't hear you, love. Not yet. No, you're still muted.
If
Auntie
anybody
Leah.
if anybody want to come up, you can, you know. Hold on.
I'll drop the link in the chat if you want.
All right, do that for me, Nick, please. If
I'll
anybody
do
want
that
to
for
come
you.
up and chit chat, that's no problem.
All right. Until Auntie Leah. Are you there, love? Auntie Leah. Auntie Leah. Auntie Leah. Right. Let me. You'll be there. You'll see.
Come on.
I don't know. I don't know how long she
Seriously.
was there. You haven't muted her, have you? Can you unmute
No.
her? Because it might be you.
Okay, hold on. Let me check it out. Do 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 do. Mm. Auntie Lee, are you there?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know how long that poor Auntie Leah was sitting there. Oh, where'd she go? Did she drop off? Yep, she dropped down. All right, she might pop back up. Oh my God, how can I be hungry? How's this possible?
Well, Nick, you the one that sucked me into the vortex.
Oh, and the vortex is only just beginning. By the way,
Ha.
I'm telling you. Yep, I'm
No,
telling you.
but just like how I was talking about that, think about this though.
Yep.
Um, it's the same thing. Like things have a way of expiring. Like just like how with that seeing with those content creators the other day,
Mhm.
like that was ticking,
Yep.
and that was
I know.
ticking, and that was brewing, and that was building, and it's like no one want to talk about it, but like I say, you could see it's a lot of guiltiness because
Mhm.
side chats, they fuel a lot of the fire. They push a lot of the ego.
Yep.
That's why um being a content creator, no matter, I mean, if your thing is to create strife, then violence beget violence, war beget war, foolishness beget foolishness. So you
Yep.
can't give a foolish input and look for a sensible outtake. So at the end of the day, that ain't what I about. It's about that responsibility. People, they need something better than that, because you could find BS in your neighborhood, somewhere in your home, or you could find that anywhere. People just
Yep.
want peace. People just want someplace they could kick back, chillax, and vibe a
That's
little bit,
right.
engage a little.
That's right. And now talking about sitting back and chillaxing, there's a young lady that's just entered into the side chat saying crazy stuff, some crazy shit. She's saying, "What charter boat?" That's how she came in. What charter boat? Look who
Charter
look
boat.
who's look who's here. Debbie Donaldson. She came in saying crazy stuff. What charter boat? I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. That's how the thing go. But
No, I don't have the munchies. I wish I did.
come on, cheese. Well,
Munchies.
I had that word for a long time. Normally after after you done fly a couple airplanes.
After you've ridden a couple of racehorses, yep,
Yeah, then you be like, but I get the munchies, bro.
yep.
You know, all the M&Ms and the Snickers and the all the anything with a little bit of sweetness is gone.
Well, Auntie Leah, that'd be one way you could get one, an appetite, is
Auntie,
to do the
you want
thing before the munchies.
you want
That'd
come
be
up,
how you get.
Auntie?
Yeah, is she
Sorry
there?
about that. Sorry about that. Me and
Where is
Nick was
she?
so me and Nick was so busy flopping our gums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you going to pop back up, Auntie Leah?
Okay. Okay.
Here we go. Oh, cat's up.
Hi guys.
Oh my God,
Hello. What's up, Kit Kat?
hello.
I just want to say hi.
Oh my God, this is too
Oh,
cute.
hi Ray Barker, Kit Kat. What's up,
This is too cute.
Kat?
Oh,
Uh,
did you kick her out, or did she kick herself out?
no, I wouldn't kick out Kat.
She's coming back. She'll be back. You keep an eye out for her because you've got to let her in. All right.
All right. Yeah, but on a serious note, like, if I talk about life grow, hold on.
Here she is. She's back.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. What's up,
Hi.
Kat?
Hi.
I put a
What?
second tab and I was like, wait, this is echoing. This is not right.
All right. I
Yeah.
thought I thought I thought you and StreamYard was fighting already. I'm like it. No one even knew it was gonna be a fight, StreamYard.
That's
Like you
right.
just start punching and kicking.
I was so ready.
And you've got
No,
Auntie
I just
Leah
want to
doing
say
cartwheels.
hi.
Hi.
Yeah, it's like
You're on a
what?
you're on a panel.
I
Congratulations.
know. I'm so like my heart's beating a little fast. I was like, oh, it's like 10 at night. It's like I have work in the morning. Temper's first live.
Temper's first live. Congratulations to both of you.
I know. Oh yeah,
Thanks,
I
Nick.
know.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for coming up, Kat. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, of course. No, I just wanted to say hi and
Oh, it's
the
all
other
good.
conversation you guys are having right now, I'm here like typing like a maniac because it's so I love heart to hearts like this, Nick. So it's like I know I was joking the other day about it being like, it's like you need you know, a few things to feel like you can have these conversations, but no, these are my favorite
Yep,
kinds.
me too.
Oh, trust me, I got plenty. I got plenty of them type of stories, Kat. Like I say, we on spooky events. I could talk them all day, all night. But
Yep, I get that.
And I believe him because he tried it the other day.
I'm just really stuck on this whole wobbly earth thing.
Oh, we have to show you a video. The Earth wobbles. Like a spinning top. You know, if you spin a top, and it'll get the wobble at the end before it falls over. The Earth
mm-hmm.
wobbles. It's got a wobble. We live where we live is very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, no, I just never considered it that way. So it's like, it's just so funny as a concept, like Jello. Sorry, I'm getting text messages.
Everything's jello, and I didn't get to have this conversation with Temper the other day, but when I first learned about atoms, I suddenly realized that everything around me was made of moving particles, and when I realized that, I knew I was in the matrix. I thought, I don't understand if nothing's solid and everything's made of atoms that bounce off each other, I suddenly understood how supernatural things can walk through something, through the wall. I thought because it's not solid. And I
That's
haven't even there is no munchies here. I'm telling you, I'm just a hungry girl that hasn't had lunch yet.
that's but that's so true because it's like that question of like what are we?
We are energy.
Yeah. Sometimes, all right. Sometimes I just wonder. Sometimes I just could throw it out there. Like, is the life we live in now a test
Mhm.
to see what we good for?
Mhm.
Because I mean, one day we all got to transition,
Mhm.
and everyone who has done it, I mean, we may wonder, will it hurt? Was it hard? Is it this? Is it that? But at the same point in time, everyone got to face it. So sometimes I just wonder because for me, losing certain people in my life
Mm-hmm.
for the connection that I've felt, for the affirmations I've gotten,
Mhm.
whether through visions, when I say visions, I mean dreams, or literally hearing their voice when it's only me there, to even the fact that I could smell them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It lets me know, like, you mean what I'm saying here and now, you can hear me. And when I go to rest, you come and tell me what it is that I was talking about. So how
Yep.
is it that I can't see you, but you are here?
Hmm.
Because it's
You can hear,
energy.
and you can hear me.
Mhm.
So things like that, it just make me wonder, like, that's
Yeah.
why. So that's why, like, for me, I wouldn't say like I grew up raised up like on all kind of different levels, because I had mom, I had dad, um, never went lacking, never this, never that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I grew up around, I would call them ancient people, people who
Mm.
done past this young stage, and
Yep.
Mhm.
they on that level where they could transition up. So I was always the type of youth who was always talking to the elders, even as a child, talking to the elders, always, you know,
Yep.
finding them more entertaining than young people because you young, I
Ah.
young, which you could teach me.
Mhm.
What could you teach me? You doing the same thing I doing. Until you learn better, I learn better. I rather talk to someone who done passed this shit.
Mm.
And
Yep.
that makes more sense because whatever I ask them, I mean, I'm sure I'm getting an answer. But to ask you a question is like, blind leading the blind, bro. So that's the type of person I was. So understanding certain quotes and taking them in and really absorbing them, like
Mm-hmm.
who's gonna fill that shoe? You know, like when
Yep.
people leave a legacy behind, like who's gonna fill that shoe, or what does it take to leave a legacy behind? What type of life are you living? Like, can
Mm-hmm.
someone shine a light on you and be like, yeah, that's what he did? So that's why I ask sometimes, is this life that tests?
That's
That was
beautiful.
huge.
Yeah.
What that was that was
That was
huge. What
amazing. Yeah, no, that's I feel like for me when like my grandma when she passed away like a few years ago, I I always feel I feel like I didn't realize how much she really lived in my spirit until she passed. Like
mm,
how many things of like the things that I think about, how I choose, how I perceive. And like I always would go back to her and like being a little girl because I was the same temper. When I was little, I like remember specifically wanting to just be with my grandma. Like
mm-hmm.
I would be with like my cousins and we like they'd be playing video games, but I would gravitate to just be with my grandma, even if it was just me watching her play solitaire and just like I just remember even now, I was talking about this with my friend, like just remembering like, even though I can find the words now, obviously, because now I'm an adult, but at the time I remember like wanting to focus on how she would hum and the things
Mm-hmm.
she would do and how she would think. And I just, and that was three. Like I grew up with her. And I think there's something like we didn't realize at the time. It was just a part of our life. But then when we get older, it's like I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like grief is
Oh,
it's such a complicated feeling
yep.
and brings out so much, but like I feel when when a person could be calm and like the emotions settle, it's like I wouldn't trade having these deeper conversations than, "Oh, what's the weather today?" Like,
Yeah.
there's time and place for that. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
started a new job and I've probably had that question like 700 times already.
Really.
Yeah, the weather's great, I guess.
Well,
real,
well.
real talk.
Yeah.
Hey, Kat. Is this your maternal grandmother?
Yeah, it was. No, actually, no. I'm sorry. It was my dad's.
Oh,
He
your
was on my
Yeah.
dad's.
dad's side.
Okay. Your paternal.
Juicy,
Okay.
Juicy Juice said, my whole adult life, they live with me. To me, it's normal.
Yep.
So Juice, they're not here now. That's what you're saying. So even if you
Yep.
were to like feel their essence or their presence, like it doesn't bother you. I mean, that's what I'm interpreting from what you said.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. She's got some good stories. We've all
Yeah,
got
because
good stories. Yeah.
when they love you, trust me, when they love you, like really really love you, when you was really like instrumental to them while they were here, trust
Mm-hmm.
me, that they you may not think they're around, but
Hmm.
if push comes to shove, if needs be, if they have to get a message to you and you really close to them, nah, you can't be like living on any kind of life now. I don't want you thinking it's work like that.
Hmm.
If you out there, hurting people and bullshitting and
Mm-hmm.
you doing some things that could heap up some coals of karma on your head, well,
Mm-hmm.
no one can save you from that. You got to get that reward. But if you was a cool, calm person, you don't bother me, I don't bother you. It's all about spreading that love and being of a blessing to someone. Then of course. someone out there plotting some ill will against you, and it could really, like, especially if you may have a young child, which would happen to be their grandchild. And Grammys love their,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you doing some to trying to harm my family. Well, you could get a dream saying, "Hey, don't go out with temper tomorrow."
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Why you saying this, Grammy?" What I tell you, cat, don't go out with temper tomorrow. He ain't a nice person.
That's
And you may get it just like that, and you may wake up the next morning, you'd be like, why the hell would Grammy come and tell me something like that? Then here it is, me knocking on your door, me calling your phone. Hey, cat, what's going on? Me and a couple of friends was passing through, man. I know you want to ride with us. I
oh, there it is.
Remember what Grammy say now.
Yep.
Cat, don't go with temper. I don't trust him. He's not a nice person.
That's exactly. It's in those because I feel when it's so funny we were talking about this because when she passed too, and I have a I mean we all come from very complicated family systems. I imagine. My mom, like my mom's side of the family, is very different than my dad's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when she passed, it was in dreams, it was in symbols of
Mm-hmm.
her giving me like warnings about my mom in a way that
Wow.
I feel like I couldn't understand it until she passed, maybe. And there were times when I would like literally I can't even I would remember on bad days over the years just being like because I in Filipino language grandma means nanay, and I would literally be like, nanay, what is it? Like, why are you doing this to me now? Like,
Yep.
why now?
Right,
Why
right,
this?
right.
And it's like I would remember like just fighting and looking at the sky and having days where I was like, I'm done. I just wanna, and then the at the most unexpected time, then it would be the pieces would come together. It's like, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and you can't help but laugh because it comes
Mm-hmm.
at the most random times.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Yep.
So
Can I just say, isn't this better? Isn't this better than just whatever? Isn't this better? This conversation.
Yeah. That's why that's and this is what I love. Engagement. I like to
Mm-hmm.
reason with people. I ain't about the drama. I ain't about, like I say, when it comes to beef, I just go in the shop and buy that and get and boil that and feed that to my dogs them. So I ain't about the beef. You know you Yeah, I ain't about that. But you
And
could imagine how much. Okay, think about this, cat. You go in a room. Now, it's a this observation is based on you now. You go in a room, there's a bunch of people. You can't read the room, but you have to be in this room with everyone. Do you think the best thing for you to do is be in that room and be a drama baby, be a drama llama? Or the best thing for you to do is try to get to know who these people is in this room, and mingle, socialize, be yourself. You don't think that be best for you?
yeah, it's like,
Oh,
what else are you gonna be?
okay, but then you got some people,
You
it
got
has
people
to be
that
it has to be the opposite. They have to be the center of attention. They have to, all
it's
eyes on me.
It's like you could tell them exactly what to do. Like you want to make sure you turn left. They're like, "All right, I'm going to turn right." It's like, "Why?
mm-hmm.
Why are you
Exactly.
going to do?" And then it's just and then when you say why, it's a never-ending battle with them. It's like, "Well, why are you asking me why?"
Yeah.
And then it's,
Yep.
"Oh, well, you told me, so I just want to know for myself." And it's like
And
it's
the world have enough clones. We have enough robots. We have enough yes mans. We have enough. We have automated systems. God damn it. We have enough
Oh.
pets. Like, will the real people please stand up? Like, anybody have some real things on their mind? Like
no.
seriously? Like, does
Mm-hmm.
that, like, anyone live a real life that they could actually talk about? So,
Literally. And It's honestly, I mean, we face enough of it in our daily life. Like even just driving in traffic today. It's like, why do people drive like they own the road?
Now,
And then
can
you
can I,
go on. Go
Kat?
on.
Kat, I'm gonna interject with something. All right. I don't know what Timber's laughing at. So, I want to say something. So, one of the most dangerous things we do every day is something that we pay no attention to that we do every day, right? And that is getting behind the wheel of a car.
Mm,
And you were about to have a little conversation there about why do we do it, right? But
mhm.
but you don't think about the fact that you are doing it is, and that's why I'm saying this to you right now, right? And I don't know why I'm saying it to you. I'm just saying it to you. So one of the most dangerous things we do is get behind the wheel of a car because because we do we go places, right? But
Yeah,
it is more dangerous than a million other things that we do in our life, and you don't realize it. But
that's a
there's
great
a reason I'm
point.
telling you this, Kat, and I don't know why, and I don't care. All right,
Well,
I'm just telling you.
me, my brain is expand. But the reason why I laugh first and foremost is because when Kat talk about why do people drive like they own the road, you know what I notice? I
What's that?
buck up into I have to drive behind those type of people only when I have someplace important to be.
That's what I
Hmm.
mean. It's like,
Like if I have
Yeah.
someplace really important to be, like, here's this person doing that real driving Miss Daisy stuff, and I'm like, mother, like sometimes they in the middle of the road. Then when you do happen to blow and get past them, they ain't see you, but they happen to see you coming up. So guess what? They on their phone,
that's right.
Oh,
and you breaking your neck looking at them, but you got to keep your eye on like facing the front of you, but you still won't look at them and be like, this
That's
stupid,
it.
like,
It's like,
boy.
it's like, do you realize what you're doing could affect 400 other people
no,
behind you?
they don't care. They do
That's
not care.
and
I
it's
Yeah, Debbie. I just get road rage quick, quick, quick,
Well,
quick, quick.
can I just say, I used to be a bus driver, so
Wow.
and when you're a when you're a bus driver, you have to
Hold on.
be.
For let me just ask you one question right there. Is it a school bus driver for the young
It's
high schoolers?
it's for everything. So it's
Oh
just picking
Lord.
up regular route driving, right?
Okay, okay.
And then
oh, that's
and then
awesome, Nick.
yeah,
Oh,
and then they.
we call that the like a jitney service.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, anyway, so yes, the big buses like 76 passengers,
Okay.
and you have to be super duper responsible, right? You've got to make sure that nobody falls out of their seats. You've got to drive responsibly. You've got to look after this $300,000 vehicle that you're driving. You've got to
mhm.
make sure that there's no children about to run out in front of you from between parked cars. There's a lot of things. You've got to look at everyone else's driving, right? Now, and you've got to be nice to the other people on the road, right? So 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 when you've done that for 14 hours in a day, sometimes that would be my longest shift, and then you get in your car that's not a bus, and you get in your car where you don't have to be nice to people anymore. You are not nice to people anymore. When you've got to drive home, you're like, get out of the way, you're honking your horn, you're acting like a crazy fool, right? Because
You're not wrong, Nick.
yeah, yeah, but you have to be nice when you're getting paid to be nice, and you're driving the vehicle that's visible, where somebody can say, you know what, that person there driving that bus with that bus number was mean, nasty, and get them. They need to lose their job. You've got to be nice because you're visible, right? When you get in your own car, no one knows who you work for.
That is, you're Nick. You're not. That's a fact.
It's a fact.
You
So
see,
watch out for.
I don't have the patience for that kind. I don't have the patience for that kind of job. Like,
But
Even
But
though
hang
I
on,
may like certain jobs, I don't have the patience. I really, really, really don't.
and it does require a lot of patience, but it feeds into Kat's earlier story, right? So what I'm saying is some of these crazy people that are driving their car on the road, they might be somebody that was a bus driver that's trying to go home.
That's
Like,
so true.
you don't know. You
Hmm.
just don't. You do not know the state of mind or why somebody is going somewhere or driving slow. And sometimes, Kat, sorry to interrupt your temper, but
No
sometimes,
problem.
Kat, there's a reason that you're being slowed down. If you're behind that slow driver, there's actually a reason for it. It's stopping you from being involved in something that's down the road. You have to think about it. Everything's
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
a reason.
that's a great
stopping
point.
you from getting your promotion, cat.
That's right.
No, it's no, it's
I'm here
stopping.
trying to rush, you
Yeah,
know.
but there is no rush. There is no rush. It's better. You're better off turning up alive
Temper, you're so
than
funny.
you know what I mean. Sorry,
but
sorry, I
Nick,
didn't mean to interrupt.
but Nick and cat, watch this though. I hope I ain't cutting no one off. Am I?
No,
No,
you're
I,
good.
I is the host with the most, so I am polite. Like, am I cutting anyone off?
Nope.
All right, like, um, when it comes to certain people, right?
Hmm.
This what I get to learn. Um, how do I put this? Like, I put it like this. I put it like this. I had this guy talk to me, right?
Hmm.
And like, I very observant, very, very. Like, he was talking to me for the longest, and he just running on, and in all this conversation, I done pinpoint that, okay, you trying to make yourself look
Mm,
more than you are, so you saying some weird stuff. So you just
Hmm.
running on and running on and running on. Nah, he's supposed to be a conscious person.
ugh,
At the end of the conversation, the individual will say, just because we saw a man, who was an amputee, the guy ended up telling me, oh, I remember him saying something to me. And I tell him, yeah, watch what gonna happen to him. And I look at him and I was like, that's what you tell him, that's what you tell the man? He said, yeah, now you see what happened to him now?
mm.
See what happened to him now? Now he got 1 foot, right? You see what happened to him now, right?
Yep.
So, you know me, I just love boys and bubbles. I just love boys and bubbles.
I
You
think we all do.
know, I wait
This
till
is
you
why
get
we love you, Temper.
I wait till you get way up in the air. So when I pop this balloon, I know you gonna break your ass bone. So he way up in there now. He on clouds, huh?
The
I
ego
tell
is
him don't be saying
boiling.
certain things. So I just pop it and say, but that means you're a narcissist.
Oh,
He's like,
Mm,
what you mean
mm,
by that?
oh.
I say, based on what you was saying, like, you mean to tell me you draw me into a 5, 10 minute conversation, polishing up yourself just to gloat over the fact that you think it's because of what you said that this man loses leg?
Mm.
Like, I mean, that's what you're telling me, right? Like,
mm.
seriously, that's what you're telling me. Like, I just strip your whole conversation now. Like, that's what you're really telling me, right? He's like, um, but I was like, no, 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 but like, just what you just said, right? You just said that, right? He's like, but I didn't mean it like that. No, 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 no. Don't say you didn't mean it like that because you meant every
That
word
is
you said.
exactly what you meant.
Yep.
Yeah. Like you was happy. You was you was way up there, right? I say now, remember you started the conversation with me, you wonder if I could have talk? Why don't you always seeing me moving through and I never really talking to no one? I say this the same reason why I say I got someplace to be, but you talking to me. You end up
Mm,
trying to accompany me on my journey.
Hmm.
Accompany me on my journey, you waste my time because you didn't even have to be around me because at the end of the day you didn't mean to tell me you was a narcissist, a covert knock.
Oh,
He was like, I say, yeah, bro. I say, we in life, like Earth have enough people like you, you know. Earth will be
Mm-hmm.
better off with people not like you know. Like we need some more free thinkers, you know. We need some
Mm-hmm.
more real people, you know. And this the type of conversation people hate to have with me, cat, because I don't do the ego trips.
Nope.
I don't do the gaslighting. I don't do the BS. Like it is what it is, bro.
Yep.
Realize, see, realize, and they mine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You put the mirror right in front of him at the end. You were like, you were at the, he was at the top of the roller coaster, and you were like, wait, this isn't where we're going down.
Right, and I feel as though the switch get into a positive moment if a lot of content creators, if
Mm,
they take a stand like this and just shut some of these things down, you know, some of these things wouldn't be escalating to the way it is right now, you know.
Correct.
That's why I
Yep.
say the power we wield is almost like, you know, being on a microphone and being on stage in front of a crowd, like a live concert. You hold, is a certain power you hold. When you pick that up, when you say what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Think I joking, Cat? Remember that commercial with Oprah saying, I love bread. I eat bread every day. Everybody was buying all the wheat bread, the white bread, the rye bread, the 9 grain bread, the sesame seed bread. Once it's bread, it was coming off the shelf just because someone
mhm.
said they
Mm-hmm.
eat bread every day.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
So there's power in words. So
Absolutely.
we have the power to squash these things, to kill these things, right in its track.
It's
So,
ex-
you know, that's what I'm about. I about the love, I about the vibing, I about the consciousness. You know, everyone needs healing in some type of way, and I even get into that spiritual guru type thing, because to me that's all a grift. Because
Mhm.
until you as a person can love yourself, then you know what it is to love someone. Until you as a person understand yourself, then you
Mm-hmm.
could understand someone. Like the scriptures say, take the beam out of your eye before you try to take the beam out of someone else's eye.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So in life, it doesn't pay to be a hypocrite. It doesn't pay to be a liar. It doesn't pay to be, you know, a con artist, because at the end of the day, good reward. I mean, good work. For good work, you get a good reward. But for bad work, you get a bad reward same way.
That's right. Hey, Kat, when are you starting up your own channel?
Guys, you're
Did
really
it cross?
inspiring me now.
Did it cross your mind?
It did. Well, there was I forgot which live it was, but it was one of Temper's videos. And I still really temper that video. It was about, it was
You mean,
payola, I think it was your video.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It
the
was
payola scandal?
so profound. And I still am debating with myself if I get enough confidence and stop like that inner critic when you're like, you're not going to do it. You don't have enough
Mm-hmm.
time. I really still want to make a response to that and maybe build from that because in other words, I need to grow a pair.
And Kat, if you, you can, there is nothing you can't do. And Sam's in the chat, right?
Hey
Oh,
Sam, hey
Yomji's
Sam.
here. Um,
Yamj, what's up? What's up?
and all you need is a good circle of people around you, like you've got now, and you just need a panel buddy, and you need somebody to talk you through just the bits and pieces. And it's not that hard, is it, Tempo? After all,
Mhm.
It ain't hard after all.
That's sweet. You know, it's so interesting how you can talk to someone and feel like you've known them.
but but
And
you've known us through the chats. We've known each other
I
in the
know.
chats for like at least 6 months now.
I know. It's like I as soon as I got up here, it's so funny 'cause I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so nervous." And
No,
now
you
I'm
know.
here with like I'm here like if you can see the way I'm sitting right now, I'm like so relaxed.
Well, we're pretty chilled out, you know.
Yeah.
I'm in spite of what you hear about me, I'm pretty chilled out, you know. And Temper's very chilled out, and most of the people that we talk to are chilled out until we're poked by,
It's
strange
been,
things.
yeah, it's been, our communities have been through a lot.
Hmm.
And I feel like even just me being up here and being able to talk to you guys, just how much we've all been through. And I say because I feel it's just like we come in, like for example, when it's like communities that like you invest in, and
Hmm.
it's when some things go wrong, it's devastating, but then it really brings the right people together at the same time. And I feel
Yeah,
like I have such an investment in, like in you guys and in this community. I just feel like it's, even though it's not in person, it doesn't, and I feel like that's also something really important, is that I'm learning too that communities don't have to just be in person. They can
they
be
don't. Yeah.
remote like this and still feel so connected to people. Like just listening to the conversations you are having about spirituality and ancestors, it's
Hmm.
like I'm here thinking like, are they reading my have they read my
Temper
are
says it
they
all the
reading
time.
my brain?
But but
No.
but but we're all tuned in. Like
Yeah,
we've been
exactly.
we've all been tuned in some sort of way to each other for over
Yeah,
6 months now.
Hmm.
And this is what's binding us all. And that sounds like a weird thing to say, but we keep coming back here. We keep meeting up
we
here
do.
on YouTube, and we find each other, and we're still hanging around together. And I don't know about you guys, but this is how I've wanted to feel. I haven't wanted to feel my stomach in a knot because of something crazy going on YouTube. I've wanted
Right.
to feel like this, exactly this.
Oh,
Well,
like
that's what it's all about, Nick.
Yeah.
When real people get together, that's
Hmm.
how it is be. The bond increase. Like I say, the more we pull together, the happier we'll be. And it's just like any community. If you have someone, I mean, I've traveled, I mean, many places out of country, in country, and
Hmm.
I've been to communities where everyone is at peace, but then there's that one a-hole that, you know,
always.
always making noise for no reason, whether it's day or night, always pulling
Hmm.
the scene, you know. And when they make noise, like they just can't make noise by themselves. They have to drag one or two people into their noise. So
Mm-hmm.
with that one person gone out of the community, like how much peaceful it is be. If it's only for a couple hours, especially if they were to take a trip for a week or
Hmm.
two,
Yes.
it's like a week or two of just wow. Come out in the morning with your coffee in your hand, and you ain't got to hear no blah 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 blah. Like, mother,
Yep.
this morning too. Then when you look, before the evening, you had the same old repeat. Be like, my lord, will the pain ever stop? Like
Mm.
I gotta hear this every day. So it's like a community with someone who's a troublemaker once they're in. You just want
Mm.
them gone.
Hmm.
Once they're gone, good
It's
things start to flow.
you don't realize how peaceful it could be, and then you don't realize how much you're holding on to this. Like it's almost like you're. For me, it's like this hypervigilance, and you're not,
Hmm.
and you just feel like, oh God, it's like that dread. And when
And
you
you,
go ahead, Temper.
no, go on, Kat. Sorry about that.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because I really get that, because then it's, you don't even realize how much too, like once that person leaves, and whether it's like they moved on or something happens, it's like it's suddenly this feeling of, it's like a sense of, like a weight lifted off your shoulders almost. And then you
Oh
also,
man.
and then you also realize too how much the people that come back together are the ones that don't want or feed that. They don't, because for me it's like, once someone reveals themselves, thank God, because then
Hmm.
I don't have to invest more into the facade that you are.
That's
Thank
Right,
God.
right.
right.
That's right. And
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 then,
and just on that note,
mhm.
Sorry, Kat, to
No, go
interrupt
ahead.
you. Sometimes this is where you find people outside of your family who are different to your family.
Mm.
Uh, um, yeah, I'll talk more on that another day. But um, just because you're related to people doesn't mean they're your people. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I feel for and other cultures, like for example, like when how I grew up, and it's like there are different parts of every culture has a different, I guess, like a system, and
Hmm.
for there's like like almost like this unconditional loyalty some cultures have to their families, where it's like you could be the most repulsive human being that could ever walk this planet, but if they share your surname or they share your
Yeah,
blood, it's like okay, they're all clean, cleansed. That's not the way life works.
yeah,
And I feel, to your point, Nick, that's so true. And I feel some of us have learned, I feel like some of us have learned that early on. And I think that's what makes a lot of us defiant children. I know that made me a very rebellious child, or at least I would feel, because I felt early on my family was a bunch of, some of them. And I just feel like there were, even though I didn't know to find the words yet, or how to express that yet, I just knew that when family is everything, they're everything. But when they're trash, there's trash. And
yeah.
there's
That's
no
right.
compensating that. And then you find people in life and that share the same, and and then they become family. And it's like one of the best, it's like, it's truly like, it's like one of like the ways that when I feel like when they say, how do you know God? It's in that moment. It's like in those moments
Hmm.
when you can find friends that become family. I think that's like the
Yeah,
best.
Well, well, Kat, to be honest with you, it's a lot of things we have to learn. After you know your mommy teacher, your daddy and teacher, school and teacher, college and teacher, if however far your educational background go, after all them teaching, Grammy and teacher, you know what you have to do after all of that? You have to sit down and teach yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
yep,
academics is just a study of books. You
hmm,
still need the real life experience. Um, and even on that light, when it comes to understanding certain words, I think that's what hold us back as a people too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, not because you share my blood, that means you loyal to me, or that means me and you could be good, or no, who's my family? My daughter,
yeah, yep,
Mm.
my son.
Oh,
That's
that's
my fam.
beautiful.
That's my family. That's who I
yeah,
responsible for. Aunties, uncles, they relatives.
Mm.
They
right, yep,
relatives. They don't live
yep,
within my household. They don't control within my household. I mean, they can visit me time to time, but when it comes to paying my bills and doing what I got to do, like I is king of my castle, so that means my family is who lives under my roof, like from my
yep,
bloodline,
That's
hmm,
beautiful.
my lineage. But outside of that, like y'all is relatives, bro. And when it comes to family, that's one of the lessons you gonna have to learn too. That
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to them type of financial fights and um, family disputes or family grudges, whether how big or small, learning how to overcome them type of things is to me that's one of the biggest and the first fights. But once you get past that, like the world is a cycle.
Hmm.
If your own relatives could do it to you, why not a stranger?
That's
So
right.
it's
why
like a
not? Yeah,
preparation thing, you know?
yeah, yeah. Um, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know I'm a genealogist. But I've gotten in contact with. Oh, hang on, one moment. My dog's not well. I'll be back in a sec.
All right. Your dog sound like he know just how to pull your buttons neck. Yeah, but on a serious note, though, cat, like that's how it is with relatives. On understanding that lingo, like that run deep. Some people right now they still hurt for what family, what relatives have done to them just because they keep
Mhm.
saying family. My family done this to me. No, your family didn't do this unless it's your brother or your sister. Then you could say that's family. But if outsiders, like that's just relatives. But you still got people who going through these things, and the message is to understand that you ain't the only one. Everyone goes through the same thing, whether in this
Right.
stage or that stage. You may be talking to someone who might have overcome it, as well as you may be talking to someone who never faced it. So it's just about, for me, like I say, I was all about always understanding. So my point is to connect. If it wasn't to connect, then I wouldn't have pushed so hard or applied so much effort. But when it comes to family, that's something people gotta learn with that. Learn
Yeah.
to differentiate, learn to draw between the lines. If someone could do this something this heinous to you, I mean, they say once bitten, twice shy, right? You
Mhm.
shouldn't
Hmm.
you shouldn't have to get bitten twice.
That's right.
I'm back.
Wow.
Sorry.
How's your dog, Nick?
Yeah, he's okay. He was just having a little seizure.
Oh,
Oh,
is it
That's all
sorry
right.
to hear that, Nick. Sorry to hear that.
yeah.
Oh, that's okay. It's a common thing. He's a chihuahua, so
Is
it
it because of the
happens.
heat?
It's not hot here. It's freezing.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I think I think it's just because um, I don't know. Who knows? He may be too hot. Maybe I'll check the temperature in the room here. Hang on. Let me have a look.
That is true because my parents have a Chihuahua and they have these. I don't know, Nick, if your Chihuahua does the same, but it's like it sounds like they're having like I don't even want to make the sound. It's so embarrassing. But it's
Don't think.
but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. So it was the sound that got my
Yeah.
attention just then. And
Doesn't sound like a kangaroo. I'll tell you that.
no, no,
Yeah.
I
he.
never did like them because it's just something about when you go to extend your hand towards them, how they show you all their teeth. Yeah, I and then see that little quick bite. See,
Yep.
I didn't get snag on my fingertip many times.
Oh my
I didn't
god.
get my fingernail break and that little piece of flesh underneath that and get split many times. And now that I know, they say, yeah, they really pack a punch with that bite. I mean, it
Hmm.
was so fast, like a whop. I'm like, mother flip this dog. Like,
Now look,
God damn, this
believe.
man, he done cut me quick as that. Like, I don't like them for that same reason. Like, and the thing about it, they so weird. Like, watch this. I was in a store today and there was these two little ones and they always play weird. So when they saw the little shaking your lip walking past me, I say, look here. I say, look here. Check him out. Check him out.
And
Now
then
she knows she don't come around me, so check her out. So I finally, I gonna put, I was like, hey girl, and
You were
when I
trying.
look, it was like she looked at me like, huh.
How
So
dare you?
she walk off shaking her lip like she the same color as Lady in the Tramp. So
yep.
she walk off and she go in the corner and she do her little pose, her Alpo pose. I'm like, all right. These pose, them Alpo dog, they pose on the bag for the picture. I
Yep.
say, check this out, man. I say, all right, pedigree. So
Pedigree.
I ain't say nothing. I walk up to the little sucker. I say, you like play crazy. I say, come here, let me touch your head.
Oh no.
When I gonna touch her, she walk off on the next side. I say, eh.
Oh.
I say, you carrying on, you making me feel like I is Pepe Le Pew or something. I say, so you want me chase you? I say, okay, cool. I gone back to where I was standing because I was waiting on something. When I look, she came on the side of me, like literally on the side of me.
Oh my
Mm.
god.
I say, now check this out. So I bend down real slow, no quick movement, because I know they like watch your foot to see your options. So I bend down real slow. I know that she didn't run. So I put my hand over and I touch on her head, and I was like, "Yeah, you feel good." I said, "You could tell your owner love you. Bathe you every morning, every midday, every evening." I said, "Huh? You get your little paws cut, your little toenails cut, your little, huh?" I said, you getting all spruce up."
Mm-hmm.
So I touched the dog on the middle of her back. This
What
dog
the?
do and yuck at me.
Oh my god.
I see. See why I don't like y'all? You wait till I get that close to really try bite me.
Yep.
I mean, she catch a little piece of skin, but I mean the fact that that's why I don't like them. They too sneaky, man.
Oh my
They're
god.
very fast.
Yeah, I don't like them for that.
And listen, there's a reason that they were made that small. Can you imagine if they were the biggest dogs?
Oh god.
Do you know how
And they
scary?
so
How
aggressive for
scary?
something so small.
Yeah, how scary would they be if they were the biggest dog? Come on.
Yeah, I've seen some freaky. I seen some big dogs now. I must ask you, Nick. What about that? What about that? Y'all have any? I see one 5 foot bird. I know if you see that cat. When this bird makes sounds with its beak, it sounds like a machine gun.
Oh my.
Let me
Okay.
find it. Let's have a look. See if I can find
I'm
it.
serious. I look at the size of this bird. Like
Oh.
Is it
this bird
grey?
is like, yeah, it's gray.
Right.
It, almost like what 4 to 5 feet tall. I'm like,
Oh my.
it,
Is it the ostrich?
no,
No.
it isn't. It isn't an ostrich. It was under title "Were Some of the World's Biggest Birds," and
Oh
this
my.
one stand like 5 feet.
Hell no.
And this thing got a bill.
It's
This
ready to fight like that?
I don't know if it fights, but the
Oh.
sound it makes.
Well, let me find
If this bird walks through the ghetto,
Could you imagine like it flying across your head? A 5 foot ass big bird like that?
you could imagine that bird
Oh
walking up to your window 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and just start
my god.
knocking its mouth.
No.
All right. I've got it. And it's an ugly, ugly bird.
See, like there are a lot of birds, but
Let me
there's
share.
something about big birds that I cannot. I there it's I have no remorse. They are the ugliest.
Like the pelican.
Yes, and just
Do you
like
know?
ostriches.
Do you
Oh
know?
my god, there it's like it is. I just look at it and I shudder. And no offense to birds, some, you know.
Do you know? Do you know what? A pelican stole a chihuahua off a pier and took off with it in its beak. Yeah. So they're scary.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Temper, can
nice.
you can you add what I've got there to the stage, please? Oh my god. Right. Here is this bird that you're talking about.
Oh, no.
Can you put your oh, it's all right. Well, no, this is not it. Where is it? Here we go. It only goes for 17 seconds, so let's have a go at this.
Oh. Oh.
you could
Oh. Wait.
you could imagine that busting off like a full extension clip.
Yeah,
Is that coming out of that bird's mouth?
yeah. Watch
Yeah,
it again. Yeah, I'll put it on again.
Oh.
I'll make it bigger. Check, watch its mouth because it's
Oh my.
it's its beak hitting together that's making the noise.
So, so you can imagine you cat.
I'm done.
Oh no, that's not Australian. Is that an Aussie bird? Oh my god.
Cat, you can imagine you bending down doing something in the corner, and all of a sudden you turn around and you see.
You just come out and you just walking in this oh my god.
And you ain't get nowhere to go, but you have to go past that bird.
I'm done.
Here, I'm gonna put that
Oh
just for
no!
you.
Hey, look, you talk about frame in the wall. You see my frame in the wall.
Nothing.
I'm telling you. And I walk straight inside them people gate. Ah!
That's the best.
So you can't leave it. You can't leave the gates open.
I just wondered the volume.
Oh no, flip!
Like the
Hey.
volume.
Flip. What the flip?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm
oh
done.
my god.
I got
Anyways.
a fan. I got to turn the fan on, but I can't. Oh, I laugh like that in a minute. Hey, that's a serious thing. So you could imagine in the middle of the night, and you ain't like as a stranger, and you ain't know something like that around.
Have a listen to Cat.
I'm done.
You talk
This is
about jump out the bed, tuck and roll.
laughing like this out loud when you guys get into it, and it's just so fun.
Cat, I put the link. I put the link in the chat for you. So when you come back to this live, you can hit that link and hear that noise forever and ever. All right.
I swear to God, I want to like put that on. I want to put that on my aux and drive, and like have that thing playing while I'm driving. And just see what people do.
If anybody about to drink some coffee, I sorry for them.
Oh.
If anybody carrying some food, I sorry for them because they could turn over. Whatever they have in their hand, they could drop. I'm telling you, that sound like a real machine gun. And you ain't know no better, you jump straight out your bed on the ground. Boop!
A whole machine gun. That's insane. And it's ugly enough.
Oh my god.
Man.
That's so ugly.
Like
So you could imagine you turn around and that bird just 5 feet of that. 5 feet. And you may not even be 5 feet.
it's
You
literally
can imagine you looking up to this bird and this bird looking at you.
Shit.
No, bro, that's why it's questions they need. Like people who live in parts of the world with Komodo dragons and
Oh no.
them,
No.
like
No.
I'm like, hold on, bro. This thing walking these people yard, eat the people whole, go just like that. 1, 2, 3. 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. That one over. 3 bites, 3 swallow. He hit him, swallow, gulp. That one over. He walk off. He had a goat crying in his stomach. I'm like,
And he's
So-
just walking mad. He's walking so slow too. Like he's like not like he is so unbothered that
I'm telling you, like on these things, and they say they have a poisonous bite. They ain't afraid of people. So I'm like, okay. So wherever I live, I gotta keep my door closed, keep my gate closed, keep my window closed.
Yeah, you know what, Kat? I think we should get your laugh on a laugh reel and just make a short out of it. Your laugh is awesome.
God,
Oh my God.
can't. Oh,
Like
no.
serious? Hey, the first time I visited my grandmother, right? up in the States, right?
Yeah.
You know what she did to me?
What's that?
She called me to the front door because she see me about to go outside that morning. She called me and say, I almost called my real name. Say, Temper?
Oi.
Say, Temper?
Mm.
Come here. I said, what you saying, Grammy? She say, this ain't where you from. I said, what that mean, Grammy? She say, where you from? You probably could run outside barefoot and walk outside barefoot and but
Oh.
she said, She said, that's what you plan on doing? She said, you better go back in the room or go find something to do in the house because it ain't happening. I said, well, I won't go outside. So tell me. She said, first and foremost, if you see a frog, don't go near it. As a
Oh,
matter of
Oh.
stink
fact,
it.
if you see a frog, go try to get away from it. I said, what you mean? She said, boy, we got the horn toads over here. I
Oh, I'm
said,
gonna
the
have to
what?
look.
The horn toad? I said, hold on. The horn toad. She said, yeah, the frog got horn on his head. I said,
Oh.
the horn toad. I said,
You know,
okay.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, and she say, this frog is spit.
Oh, hell.
It is spit the venom. So I'm like,
Oh.
okay, that done spook me out. So I'm like, well, I never did like frogs because one almost blinded me in like primary school.
Oh,
I
no.
did I didn't really know, and it jumped across my hand, and instead of me washing my hands, I ended up must be rubbing my eyes or something, and that's all it took. And so within like 5-10 minutes, like my eyes was leaking water. I could
Oh my
hardly open
god.
them. So they had to like take me to the hospital. But frogs, yeah, I done paranoid with them because when they jump, they piss the same time they jump.
Oh.
So that little water, if that was to get on your face or in your eyes when they jump over you, like if you were to pass underneath them when they jump over, yeah, that could mess up your sight. But then she went on and she was like, and oh, another thing, she was like, and we got snakes too. I said, yeah, we got snakes too. She said, y'all ain't got the moccasin. I said,
Oh.
Oh, that's a bad snake. Yep.
the who sin? She said the
Moccasin.
moccasin. I say mocking sin. She
Who
said, I
said?
know what you're trying. She said, I know what you're trying to say, but I'm saying moccasin. I say, yeah, okay, okay. I said, well, tell me about that. She said, well, they common around this time of the year. They black and they're brown. They're
Oh.
all through the yard. Um, they will bite you. I say, what? When you say will, she said, yeah, they will bite you. I said, okay. She said, don't
Mm-hmm.
jump over no logs because sometimes there's a rattlesnake on the next side stretched out laying down. If I was to go up like in the levee or up in the woods, I'm like,
Hell no.
okay. I say, you trying to kill my vacation? She said, no, I just letting you know. I say,
Oh.
okay. She said, no, y'all like to take the stick and push it in the hole because y'all like to dig out the spiders. I say, yeah. She said, well, don't do that to these holes over here because armadillos live in those holes. I'm like,
Oh.
armadillo? I say, what the? I say, I see these things in encyclopedias. She say, well, they over here. And they are very, very vicious. Don't bother them because you can't beat one of them. I'm like,
Mm.
what? She say, man, if an armadillo run you to this house, you better run straight past this house. Don't run to this house. I say, what you
Whoa.
mean? Because I don't want him in my yard. I don't want him in underneath my house. I don't want him finding a way inside my. I don't want him. I was like, you serious? She said, yeah. I said, wow. So you know what I did? I took off my shoes or whatever it was I was going to put on, and I went back in the house, and it pained as much as it did pain me to go play. What was it at that time? Either Street Fighter or Killer Instinct. As much as it pained me to turn that console back on,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I turn that back on because I said, yeah, I ain't getting outside. I ain't for that. Not right now. I got to build my nerve up for that. All of that. The wasps are black. The scorpions are black.
In the dark. Yeah.
Anything that can bite you, it poisonous. The spiders, the
Yep.
recluse spiders and the clues. I'm like, hold on now,
Yep.
all of this?
Mm-hmm.
They talking about gnats and mosquitoes. I'm like,
Oh snap.
okay, I ain't know about all of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so boy, trust me, it was a lot.
Oh.
But I had to learn to adjust though. But first time I had
Wow,
to
Sam.
remember some of those stuff.
Hey, Debbie wants me to show you another scary noise from an animal in Australia. Temper.
Oh,
Um,
Debbie.
so Nick, show them our possums noise. Oh
Oh
my God,
no.
it's the scariest noise at night time, like a horror
Oh.
film. So you thought the
You,
you thought
you see
the
what Psalm 3 say? Psalm say I jumped
yeah.
over a log when I was young. A snake
Oh.
reared up at me. I was in
Oh.
mid I was in mid stride.
Oh,
So
Sam.
I had to jump over the thing. I think I
Oh.
levitated that day.
She had to double jump. She had to jump, and then when she was in the midair, she had to do the air jump that she wasn't never on the ground.
Oh no.
Nick used playing Mario Brothers.
Oh no,
Do the
this
air,
is this.
do the air jump.
Yeah, do the air jump. Yeah, but this is how the guys they hang off the bar at the playground or wherever in the gym, and they do that air walk with their legs. You know when they're doing a chin up and they do the air walk with their feet. That's what I
Hmm.
pictured Sam doing. The air walk, just yeah. All right, I'm going to play. Oh, Nick in Australia, they would never go outside. Yeah, that's right. The jumping spider. We've got jumping ants
Oh.
that are like fire ants. We've got all sorts of crazy shit over here. But have a listen to this. Imagine. I want you to close your eyes. Right, everyone, close their eyes. Imagine you're sleeping in your tent, and it's really quiet, and then you hear this.
What?
It
That
sounds.
tent when I hear that, that tent could stay right there and me and my car keys gone.
Yeah,
It
and they're
sounds
very
like a
cute.
snore though.
They're very cute. They're cuddly, but they're
And
scary.
sound but they sound like that.
They sound like that.
No, see that ain't gonna work for me. Nick, I really
No.
think that's why I think they be getting some of these special effects for these movies because this the second time I was about to ask you if you sure you ain't playing Call of Duty on zombie mode. Because I
Mhm.
sure I heard
It's
that
not.
song in one of them waves before.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, these are normal. These are the first time you hit that was a possum.
Oh
Um,
no.
and I'll play a koala because that's also equally scary at night time. And they're cute. You know what a koala looks like. Everyone knows what a koala from Australia looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Koala noise, right?
They do all propaganda on these koalas. I hear they're. I mean, they don't sound as cute as they look.
No, they sound terrible. They're really scary. Oh, we don't want to hear an ad. Oh God. Right. How am I going to get rid of that? I'm doing this from my phone so that we don't have to deal with any copyright crap. Right. Here we go. What noises do koalas make?
Oh.
That's a baby koala. And here's an adult. Oh, that's crunching, that's boring. But yeah, they're pretty scary noises. And if you've never heard one in your life, right? And you hear one and you're with other people that have never heard one, it's pandemonium. Everyone freaks out.
I feel like even just now, if you were to not say it was a koala, I would think it was like a walrus.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not. It's a little
I
tiny bear.
can't believe
It's a little tiny bear.
that's insane.
They're scary noises at night time in the dark, when you're camping. and you don't, and your head is near the ground, and this thing is above you in a tree, and you're like, what is that? We don't have we don't have brown bears, we don't have big bears over here. We have koala bears.
We're like, I feel like in New York it's so boring. We get squirrels, and
I
like
like
it's
I like them.
Yeah,
They just they just move fast.
we don't have them. So
yeah, but the thing with squirrels is, ugh, like they have like the way that Chihuahuas could have that attitude.
yeah,
I feel like with squirrels, I look at them like I'll be on walks, and I feel like they have this look, or maybe it's because I don't know what it is with squirrels and the way they make the ugliest sounds, but not on top of that too, they have this extreme arrogance when they're walking on the
really.
sidewalk. It's and they're I don't know. There's something about like big rodents
I
that are
don't like I don't like them.
Big rodents.
there,
Pardon me.
and they're just
I don't like spiders for one. I don't like spiders. I
and they
don't like
also
spiders. I don't like rats.
no. Well, some of the squirrels in New York too, they'll like fly from tree to tree, and I'm just like, hell no. I feel
Hmm.
like I gotta get like an umbrella or something. Yeah,
An
The,
no,
umbrella.
no. Our
the
stuff
only
is
thing I don't
boring.
like about them, they look like overgrown rats. That's the only thing I don't like about them. That's that soulless eye, that black eye.
Yes,
Hmm.
and
That,
they don't care either. They'll look at you. They'll be
that's
like,
what I
"What's
don't like
up?"
about them.
Bit like a chihuahua, that'll look at you too.
And I'll just be like, "All right, my bad."
Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, "Yeah, okay, you got that one. All right, good."
Hmm.
That's like, pardon me. I see certain things I learned like over the years just don't do. Like one time I caught this nice size fish, like maybe 4 feet. I say a little under 4 feet, right? Nice pull.
Yep.
He gave me a good pull on the rock that night. Nice pull. I
Hmm.
thought it was a little mini shark or something, little puppy shark or something, but gave me a nice little wrestle.
Hmm.
Boy, you know what it is. You come home dead tired and you just put him on ice and leave him and say, you know what, in the morning I could scale him and gut him and I could steak him up and I could have some one day I could have filet. One morning I can make some stew fish.
Hmm.
One day no, I didn't plot this was a nice size fish. I didn't plotting this fish out, boy. Would you believe I take the fish and I rest it on the table outside?
Oh,
And all I went for, I remember, I said, shoots, I forget this, the skinning, what we call the skinning knife, the knife we use to skin the fish with. So I'm like, God damn, I forget that. Plus, I can need that to fillet. I say, all right, cool. Man, when I gone inside, when your mind tell you, well, again, right there and come. It even in 50 steps, just a quick zoop, zoop.
Yep.
Man, look here. When I walk inside, I talking about only with 4 steps to get inside the house. Pop.
Mhm.
But maybe another 4 or 5 steps to get to the kitchen or get around one or two corners. Bam in the kitchen, come back over, whoop, 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 back to the back door. It's almost I could almost run and do this.
Yep.
But for some reason, it's between when I gone inside to when I reach to come back. Here comes this great osprey.
Oh,
oh,
Man, look here.
how
We
big?
is, we is call them fish hawk.
oh!
This dude came down like he was looking at me from the great heights of the great beyond. He was watching me miles up in the air, son.
Yep, you know it.
And I never thought about looking up. When I opened the back
Oh,
door, when I opened the back door and look outside, all I see was wings on the table. Like
Lord,
big old
whoa.
wings, and all I see was when he lift and I look at his big old dirty claw.
oh!
He got my fish and he gone with it. And you should see me running, running. I trying to get cat this my din. I mean, I got fish in the freezer, but sometimes I like to go out and catch a fresh boy, throw a
Yep.
fresh boy on the grill. Man, look here. When you tell yourself, although you tired, go clean the fish tonight. And in the morning, all you got to do is wake up around 1, 2 o'clock, season it up. By 10, 11, whenever you get up again, she could be right. But I ain't listen to myself. I saying, no, I can just do that in the morning, man. I always do it in the morning. I say, ain't gonna be no. I tired, man. I get in bed and go to my bed. That bird come down. He grabbed that fish. I mean, he must be taking time because he must sit down on the table and sink his talons into the fish, boy.
Mhm.
When he make that last jump off that table, all he is woof, woof, woof.
Oh my.
He gaining altitude. Gone. Man, I running behind him, trying to hit that with a rock, anything to make him loosen his grip. And all I could do is when I get to the edge of the bush, all I could say was, "Hey, goodbye, bye, bye. I know you would have taste good, boy. I know you would. I mean, I watching him. I just know what I praying. I praying that it just slip or this
Oh,
talents, man. Just slip. Because if that drop, I sure I can tear down through that bush and get to that. But I just catch that last night. I just catch that and I was like, I got at least 20 to 30 minutes wrestling with him, trying to get him up on the rock. All that just for him to carry that and eat that with his family. And I was like, but that would hurt me, bro, because he do it to the point where I gotta watch him at least almost a mile just flying until I just see his wings disappear in the distance. I'm like, you mean he really gone with my fish?
yeah. Oh my
Man,
god.
Nick, you joking. I got the pan out there. I got my sour, my pepper, my seasonings. I got my basil trees. I got fresh pepper trees. I just go there and pick some leaves and I ready to go to wake. But the only thing the bird come and carry my whole damn fish thread. Like, I was like, mother flip. I said, I can't even tell
Mother
nobody this
flipper.
story. I said, they gonna laugh me to pieces whenever I tell someone this. I'm like, flip dread.
All right. Now you just reminded me of this advertisement in Australia, right? And
Some tree they
it
needed
goes.
it more.
Oh no! It's right up the alley of your bird story, right? Let me see if I can share this screen. You have to see this ad. It's so cute.
These damn birds.
Well, this has got a happier ending than the story we just heard. All right, can you please add that to the stage, Mr. Templar? All right. So this is an advertisement for some sort of for insurance in Australia. But when I was watching the ad, I'm like, I have no idea what this ad is about. It was just such a beautiful ad, right? So we'll go fair use, fair use. We're just doing a review of this advertisement. Oh God, I've lost it. There it is. All right, here we go.
Just what that damn bird do to me. See that?
and now that bird is going off to find Temper and his fish.
That's just how the bird did look for true.
That bird came out of nowhere.
Really?
Just swoop. I tell you, we had to wait till I gone inside, and I wasn't up in the kitchen getting what I need. Because time as I come back to the back door, all I hear whoop, whoop, whoop. He was taking off, gone. I was like, mother sick nigga can't. Like, I wish I could. I wish from I open that door, I'd have just run there and just jump on the bird. That's what I was really wishing. But when I make up my mind, my body to react, it was done like either done up in the air, at least 10, 11 feet on ascending.
Oh my god!
I want to eat fish now.
See that? Well, I might go in the freezer this evening and take out some probably eat for lunch tomorrow.
I think you should.
Yeah, just to bring back some memories. But look how Nick.
Go on.
I'm gonna say, Nick, look how you sucked me into the vortex, though.
I was just looking at the time and I was about to tell you. So it's 2:22 on the clock. Hey?
Oh, that.
It didn't feel like that, did it? 2 hours, just over 2 hours we're gone.
Well, that is true. That is true.
Mhm.
That is true.
Sam wants to go fishing. Time flies, a bit like that bird.
Like that
and the
bird.
Sam wants to go fishing. Well, I don't know about you, Sam, but it's wild and windy. We had a severe weather warning out where I'm living, so the wind has been like absolutely crazy, and raining, and just it's been crazy weather here. Sorry to talk about the weather, Kat.
Comes full circle. No, it's crazy because me and Mary are in the chat the last couple of days. It is so hot where we are, like to the point where we're ready to fight Con Edison. And then, like Con Edison here, it's basically like it's like they own essentially all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the electricity. So, so we're ready because my bill is gonna be. It's gonna be so. It's gonna be my paycheck's gonna go all towards Con Edison, and
wow,
I'm ready for that.
So
it's hot.
Are solar panels a big thing over in America?
It's yeah, but not real. Like at least not in my area. But there are like other states that are definitely like they're really pushing it. I would say like solar panels, like roofing. But as far as Con Edison, it's like that toxic relationship where it's like it's like you can't help but need that person.
Yeah.
And then it's Con Edison. So yeah, Mary's in the chat. Con Edison supervised. Electricity, right? Blah blah blah. Exactly. No.
Micah say I need to catch up with that birdie. Boy, look here, that bird.
And go on.
Huh?
Sorry, Tim. I was just going to say it's funny. Kat said blah 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 because I just wrote a song that's blah 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 is the chorus.
Nick, oh my god, I can't wait for this. I just have to say, I still there's some songs that get stuck in my head.
What, some of my songs?
They're your songs.
No way.
Rama Llama gets stuck in my head sometimes.
Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies.
You want me to cue it up? I'll cue it up.
Yeah, some of them are sticking your head for true. Even kicking with Auntie Leah, like I was playing backgammon today, and you just while I beating up on the person, I was like, "We are kicking it," and I was like, "Check." I was like, "Hold on."
I was like, Auntie Leah.
Yeah, I'm like, you should see me every time I roll the dice. Please, like, share, and subscribe. I was like, hold on. Thanks for coming.
There it is.
Seriously. And I
I
got to
love
catch
it.
myself like, hold on, I know this, but you know what I talking about. I said, let me pipe down because you know sometimes when you be winning too much and you know you start like singing, it's like a over boasting type thing. I said, let me stop before he think I. But it's just pop in my head just like that. And every time I win the game, I was like, thanks for coming. I was like,
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
yeah,
Thanks for
shucks.
coming. Now, when I make these songs, right? So I make multiple versions of the song until I get the one where I start chair dancing, I start moving, I'm like, yeah, I want this is how I know when I've got the song. I want to immediately hear it again. That's how I
Yep.
know when I've got the right song. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
Yeah,
great.
some things are just catchy, boy. Some things just catchy, and it's kind of stick with you. It
Yep.
really does. Well, I kind of old school though. Like for me, you see me want to do some housework or something.
Hmm.
I go to one Sam Cook
Oh yeah.
mix. Oh man, yeah, shoot, I love me some Sam Cook. Yeah, I like them type of music there. Them
Hmm.
golden oldies.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm. So
All
Mhm.
right, buddy. If you
Tupac.
want to, yeah, a bit of Tupac. Well, we're going to get some Tupac when we get Auntie Leah when Auntie Leah does when she can bring herself to do it and do the Tupac story on
Oh.
her channel. She loves Tupac. She was only 19 when he died when he
Mm-hmm.
passed away. Um, but yeah, we'll get there. Hey,
Yeah.
uh, Temper, you want to add my whatever I'm sharing to the stage? I've got your song queued up for you that you want to hear. All right, you ready?
Let
Okay,
her rip.
let her rip. Rightio, here we go.
Nah, nah, yeah. Listen, yeah. Hey, you listen. Let me tell you a true story about misinformation and Mr. Underhanded. Their content is tainted with contempt and victimization. Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies. Misinformation and Mr. Underhanded. Their minds are as twisted as their lies. Stop victimizing the victims. Stop victimizing the victims. Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies. Misinformation and Mr. Underhanded have their targets in sight. When they hit one, they hit all. When they hit one, they hit all. Stop victimizing the victims. Stop victimizing the victims. Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies. The uprising is upon them. Our pain is not their gain. Our pain is not their gain. High vibrations across all nations are rising up. We are rising up. Stop victimizing the victims. Stop victimizing the victims. Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies. Come on, stand up. Stand up for something or fall. Fall. Clicks for lies. Clicks for lies. Misinformation and Mr. Underhanded. Yeah, we know who you are. And you know who you are. Clicks for lies, 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 clicks for lies. Clicks for lies.
Boy, for them horns to get that long, you know how long that goat had to be up down on the mountain top?
Man,
See the size of them horns?
Yep.
clicks for lies.
Oh,
Man,
But I love that. I love. Like I said, this is what I love, Rachel. You know, chatting, engaging. You know,
yep.
blowing off some of that steam. Well,
Yeah, man.
it's good to have a laugh every now and again, man.
yeah.
Absolutely. And we haven't had enough laughs, is how I feel
Yeah,
lately.
some of y'all
Mhm.
comments crack me up, boy. Especially Sam. Sam said she Sam said she jumped and she sure she levitated that day. Like she
I can visualize it. Yeah.
she double jump.
She double jumped. Yeah. She did a jump in the air and then she was already in the air and she had to jump again one more time while she was off the ground.
Ah,
Oh,
Man, well, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I have to go to bed.
good
yeah, I'm
night.
about to shut
Thank
this
you.
down in a minute for real.
Yep.
Thank you for an
Thank you.
amazing live. And it's so nice to talk to you for the first time. I love you
It's
both.
nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice to know you hear your voice too, Kat. Good
Yeah.
to see you come up, you know.
Yeah. I
Spend
know
some
this
time
is
with us.
I was super nervous, but you guys made it super easy.
And now, Kat, the next time you do it, you won't be so nervous. You'll just go, you know what? I want to hit that link. I want to get up there.
And you know what? I promised. Also, another reason I was really inspired to do it was because I remember in a chat when Mary was like, "You better go up." And I promised the next time, if the link gets dropped, I'm gonna go up.
I remembered.
So I keep my promises.
Yes, and I remembered that, Kat.
Yeah.
So Rezi,
Rezi, we did it.
Yeah,
oh,
and you've had a really good turnout for your first live, and thank you all for coming. You know,
Oh, I love
yes,
you guys.
yeah, we love you too, Kat. It's all love, yeah. Like we say on my side, manners and respect.
That's right.
that's it. That's all it is. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Good night, guys. Good night, chat. Well, I'll probably be in the chat still. Who knows? I'm probably not gonna go to bed, but we're gonna chat. Love y'all.
Love
Night.
you
Night,
too. Good night.
all right, night, Kat.
All right, Mister. That
Well,
was a
Nick,
good. Yeah, it was a good live.
I enjoyed the moment. I enjoyed the vibes.
Yep, me too. It was awesome.
And who says there's no knowledge up in the mountains?
That's right. And both you and me have mountains in our avatars. Just saying.
Wow.
Just saying for those that haven't noticed. And there's a mountain peak behind the mountain that my goat is on, and I think it's actually the peak of Temper's Mountain in his avatar. It's
Yeah,
just
the
weird how
one.
that worked out
Yeah, the one on the far side.
on the far side of the moon.
Nick, you guys show me a picture of your son, and I gotta see your son. That's all I
Ah,
can say. I gotta see that son.
I
And if your
will. I
son the
will.
same color as mine, that's all I want to see. Once your son is the same color as mine, then we good to go. Until then, that's your son, and this son is my son.
I'll see your son and raise you one.
uh well, yeah, Nick, I enjoyed the moment. I enjoyed the vibes, man. You know, it was good talking to you. You
It
know,
was great. Yep.
it's
Thank
good
you.
having a chat with Nick.
Always good having a chat with you, Temper. Always. I appreciate your time.
All righty.
All right. Now make
All
sure
right.
you end the live. Make sure you end the live, Temper. You must end the live. All right.
All right, Nick. I will. I will. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for coming by.
No worries. My pleasure. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All righty. Well, glad for everyone who came. Thank you for everyone who came, everyone who showed up. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed everything. It was a good vibe. It was a good turnout. Who knows what's going to be next on spooky events, you know? Just got to stay tuned. Until then, just remember, realize, see, realize, and that's facts. Good night, everyone.